Voice over me with another animal communication example story for you. When I was living and working on a horse farm in Florida, barn managing, I had gotten the job through a friend of a friend to later become a best friend. Shout outs to Michael and Olivia. I drove, I don't know, like 1,600, 1,800 miles from the New England tri-state area down to Florida to find out after getting there that the horse trainer that I'm working for is also a pet psychic. So that was a really fun summer. It was a really fun summer. One example of one of the first times I had a pet physically present in my life come talk to me in a dreamscape was in Florida. So the water content in that area was very sulfuric. The one thing I remember was not only this was my first time in Florida ever. On the way down there, my dog and I, we stopped at a motel in Jacksonville for the night. And this was the very first time I felt Floridian weather. And I get out of the car and I'm like, oh no, what have I done? Like, I just took a barn job. I'm gonna be out in the heat all day. What have I done? So that was a big shock. I mean, like, Florida's gonna be hot. You cognitively, you mentally know that. But physically experiencing it, experience is the best teacher, So other than the weather being experientially impactful in that way, when I got to the property I was working at, there was a very distinct smell of sulfur when we ran the hose water. I guess it was groundwater, so when we were hosing off the horses or filling the water buckets, stuff like that, it was a very distinct smell. So anyway, it smelled. You could smell it when you were hosing off the horses. When I was filling the water buckets and stuff for the first time, I was like, whoa. I remember it was like a big punch to the nose. I was like, that's strong. So on top of getting used to a new schedule, used to the heat, acclimating to that in the middle of summer, and being on my feet from 6:30 in the morning to 5 o'clock at night, completely out in the sun, and really not having the appropriate attire. Like, I didn't have sun shirts at the time. I didn't really have wicking leggings or riding leggings at the time. I was wearing hand-me-downs of track pants and stuff. So yeah, it's really important to have sun shirts if you're going to be out in Florida. So I was getting used to a new job, getting used to new horses, a new routine, Floridian summer, getting used to a new job, used to new horses, used to a new boss. I had just left a really stressful work situation at another barn. So I was just like finally releasing the last few months of tension from that last place as I'm getting used to this new job, new routine. So some things fell by the wayside. I forgot to brush Nami's teeth. Nami is my dog. If you don't brush their teeth or if you don't give them dental chews, their teeth start to yellow, tartar builds up, and Nami came to me in a dream where I saw her standing in a little grassy patch outside in the front of that farm, and I lived on the farm, so Nami lived on the farm with me, and I lived on the farm with my boss. And in the dream, Nami came to me, and she just goes, hey, my mouth hurts. And in the dream, she said mouth. She said the word mouth, that's what I got through the dialogue. And if you've ever had a dream where you can have the sensation of you're falling or something, like if you've had the sensation that you're flying or you're falling, it's a physical sensation in a dreamscape. So that's what I mean. And in the dream, when Nami told me, hey, my mouth hurts, she was saying it with patience and some urgency. I felt my gums hurt too in the dream, kind of like if you experience a dream where you feel like you're flying or you're falling. So I woke up and I was like, oh, interesting. So then I go and I check her mouth. It had gotten yellow, and I think it's because of the sulfur content in the water, and we didn't really have a filter system for the horses or for the dogs out in the barn. And it was a good, 200, 300 feet away from the house, so the Brit is in the house. There was no fridge in the barn, so we're not gonna so there just wasn't a filter system out in the barn. So Nami's teeth had gotten pretty yellow, and so I started remembering to brush her teeth. I got some teeth gel, started addressing that. And side note, we have been using the Verbac enzymatic treats for her They are not rawhide, but they look like the same color. And also, I wouldn't recommend rawhide for your dogs. I'm no professional, but apparently it's not good for your dogs. So anyway, we've been using the enzymatic Verbac dental chews, and Nami loves them. She knows when it's time for her special cookie, and she goes and has a blast with it, and it really does a good job of cleaning her teeth. And we also get the enzymatic toothpaste. The enzymes really are what help break down the buildup off their teeth. And you can do the chews, and you can do the little bit of an enzymatic paste or gel, just rub it on their teeth, but you also want to massage their gums just a little bit, not hard. You don't want to press on them, but just a little bit of a massage just to keep them healthy. So that was a really cool experience for me about my dog coming to talk to me and tell me, hey, this hurts, I need help. So I hope you guys enjoyed this example, or this little mini episode about an animal communication experience that I've had personally. I plan on recording and sharing more stories and personal experiences about animal communications or equestrian pursuits and endeavors that I've been a part of, different barn keeping methods, different business models that I've seen and been a part of or been the customer of. I'm also going to talk about tarot cards on this channel and astrology. Those things will come up. Lo and behold, they will raise their heads. There's no way I can't. It's like that meme of that kid with the vein popping out. It's like, when I haven't told anybody that I'm vegan, or it's like, when you haven't told anybody you're doing keto in the last 2 minutes. That's me in astrology. And that's me in talking animals. So, thank you for letting me be a part of your day, your energy flow, and the airspace in your brain. Your thought space is such an intimate space when you really think about it. Oh, thank you for sharing your time with me as I share story time with you. And I'll see you on the next one.